The Cartographer's Lost Continent, an immersive tale for improving English listening skills. Welcome to Mumtahina's English Academy, where learning English becomes exciting, natural, and enjoyable. Through captivating stories, listening practice, vocabulary building, and speaking tips, you'll improve your English step by step. Whether you're a beginner or advanced learner, you're in the right place. Let's learn, grow, and succeed together. The Cartographer's Lost Continent. There are mysteries that fade with time, and there are mysteries that grow stronger the more people try to forget them. For Elias Thorne, a gifted cartographer whose life revolved around maps, coastlines, and forgotten voyages, one mystery had consumed him for nearly a decade. It began with an anomaly hidden within a collection of 18th century nautical charts preserved inside a weathered archive. While comparing historical sea routes with modern satellite imagery, Elias noticed an impossible gap. On several ancient maps between two familiar archipelagos, there appeared the outline of a vast landmass. It was drawn with remarkable precision, complete with mountain ranges, rivers, and settlements. Yet no modern chart acknowledged its existence. It was as though an entire continent had been deliberately erased from history. Most scholars dismissed the landmass as a cartographic error. Others argued it had been the product of sailors' imaginations, exaggerated by storms and superstition. But Elias could not ignore the consistency among the old charts. The continent appeared again and again, bearing different names yet occupying the same coordinates. The more he investigated, the more obsessed he became. One rain-soaked evening, while examining a high-resolution digital scan of a deteriorating atlas, he noticed a dark smudge beneath a fold in the parchment. Magnifying the image revealed faint handwriting concealed beneath centuries of ink. The note consisted of only a single sentence: "Seek beyond the shifting mist where the compass dares not settle." The message sent a chill through him. Beneath it was a reference to a journal belonging to a forgotten explorer named Gideon Blackwell, whose final voyage had ended without explanation. Weeks of research eventually led Elias to a private collection housed within an isolated coastal manor. There, inside a dust-covered chest, he discovered Blackwell's journal. Its pages were stained with seawater and age, and its script twisted across the paper like tangled roots. Yet among the cryptic observations and labyrinthine sketches lay repeated references to a continent called Erythea, a place Blackwell described as ancient beyond memory and hidden beneath the world's deliberate blindness. Elias knew he could no longer remain behind a desk. 3 months later, his research vessel, the Meridian Star, departed from a remote harbor beneath a pale dawn sky. The sea stretched endlessly before him, glimmering like molten silver beneath drifting clouds. As the shoreline receded astern, Elias stood upon the deck, gripping the rail as anticipation mixed with uncertainty. His route followed coordinates extracted from Blackwell's writings, though many of the directions seemed contradictory. The journal repeatedly instructed him to sail beyond ordinary navigation, to travel not merely northward or eastward, but between the directions. At first, the voyage unfolded normally. Familiar currents guided the vessel across open water. The compass pointed faithfully toward magnetic north, and the stars appeared exactly where celestial calculations predicted. But after several days, strange irregularities emerged. Dense fog rolled across the sea without warning. The compass needle trembled, then it began spinning erratically. Elias frowned as he checked his instruments. The ship was moving southeast according to one device, southwest according to another. His digital systems contradicted his traditional charts. Even the stars appeared subtly displaced. According to every navigational principle he understood, such discrepancies should have been impossible. The atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. Salt-heavy air clung to his skin. The hull groaned rhythmically beneath the pressure of unfamiliar currents. Waves moved against the prevailing wind, creating bizarre patterns across the ocean's surface. During sleepless nights, Elias studied Blackwell's journal beneath the warm glow of a lantern. The explorer's observations seemed less like records and more like warnings. The sea shifts around Erythea, one entry read. The world rejects certainty near its shores. As the days passed, Elias compared his coordinates against the journal's cryptic scrawls. Again and again, the calculations refused to align. According to his instruments, he should have been crossing empty ocean. According to Blackwell's records, he was approaching a continent. One evening, beneath a sky ablaze with crimson twilight, Elias climbed onto the observation deck. The sea surrounding the vessel had changed color. No longer blue, It shimmered with deep emerald hues that seemed to glow from within. He watched in amazement as ribbons of turquoise light drifted beneath the waves. His pulse quickened. The journal had mentioned this phenomenon. The sea turns green when the continent draws near. Excitement battled caution within him. If Blackwell's observations were accurate, then Erythea was not a myth. It was real. Yet another unsettling possibility emerged. The journal suggested that the continent itself moved. Entire coastlines shifted position according to patterns no human mind had fully understood. Perhaps this was why modern maps could not find it. Perhaps Erythea was never where it appeared to be. For several days, Elias followed subtle clues hidden within Blackwell's writings. He adjusted course according to star positions rather than instruments. He trusted the ocean more than technology. Gradually, the fog surrounding the vessel thickened until visibility shrank to only a few meters. Then, just before dawn, he saw land. Dark cliffs emerged from the mist like colossal shadows rising from another world. Their jagged silhouettes towered above the sea, illuminated by strange blue light. Elias stared in stunned silence. Against all logic and probability, he had found the lost continent. The shoreline of Erythea defied everything he understood about geography. Towering basalt cliffs stretched toward the horizon, their surfaces gleaming with crystalline veins that pulsed faintly beneath the darkness. Dense forest covered the inland terrain, but these forests shimmered with bioluminescent colors. Trees emitted soft emerald radiance. Flowers glowed violet and silver. Streams sparkled as though liquid starlight flowed through their channels. When Elias stepped ashore, he felt as though he had crossed into a dream. The air carried unfamiliar scents, sweet blossoms mixed with mineral-rich earth and distant rain. Strange birds with translucent feathers soared overhead. Every sensory detail felt heightened, impossibly vivid. Determined to document the continent, Elias began mapping its coastline, yet almost immediately he encountered a disturbing problem. The landscape would not remain consistent. He sketched a cliff formation in his notebook and walked inland for several hours. Upon returning, the cliffs had changed shape. Entire rock formations appeared where none had existed before. Rivers altered their courses, valleys shifted position. At first, he suspected exhaustion. Then he tested the phenomenon repeatedly. Each time the result remained the same. Erythea was actively reshaping itself. His maps became obsolete within hours. The realization unsettled him profoundly. Cartography depended upon permanence. A map represented stability, certainty, and order. Yet this continent rejected all three. Days passed as Elias ventured deeper inland. He discovered remnants of an ancient civilization hidden among colossal stone ruins. Massive structures rose from the forest floor, covered with intricate carvings depicting stars, oceans, and shifting landmasses. The architecture possessed an elegance unlike anything found in recorded history. Within one ruin, he discovered a vast chamber containing thousands of stone tablets. There, at last, he learned the truth. The inhabitants of Erythea had mastered a forgotten understanding of reality itself. According to their records, existence was not fixed. Places, memories, and even histories could shift depending upon collective belief. Erythea had learned to separate itself from humanity's awareness, drifting gradually beyond perception. When civilizations grew dangerous or power-hungry, Erythea concealed itself further. Eventually, the world forgot. Maps lost it, histories omitted it, generations passed without knowledge of its existence, yet the continent remained. Elias spent weeks translating inscriptions and exploring abandoned cities. The deeper he ventured, the more he sensed an invisible presence surrounding him, not hostile, but watchful. One night, while standing atop a hill overlooking luminous forests, he experienced a vision. The stars above brightened. The landscape shimmered. Suddenly, he saw Erythea as it had once been. Cities glowed beneath moonlit skies. Ships sailed radiant harbors. Scholars observed celestial patterns from marble observatories. Millions of voices filled the air. Then the vision shifted. He witnessed wars, greed, and ambition spreading across distant continents. Erythea's guardians feared their knowledge would be exploited. Rather than allow such power to fall into destructive hands, they chose erasure. They removed themselves from history. The sacrifice preserved the world. As dawn approached, Elias understood the true reason the continent had vanished. It was never lost. It had chosen to hide. That realization carried immense weight. If he returned and revealed Eritrea's existence, governments would arrive. Corporations would follow. The continent's secrets would become resources to exploit. Everything its people had protected would be destroyed. For the first time since beginning his quest, Elias questioned whether discovery was truly a victory. Weeks later, standing upon the shore where his journey had begun, he prepared to depart. His notebooks overflowed with observations. His instruments contained enough evidence to rewrite history. Yet he hesitated. The ocean breeze carried whispers through the glowing forest behind him. Eritrea seemed to be waiting for his decision. As the meridian star sailed away from the continent, the shoreline gradually dissolved into mist. The glowing forests faded. The basalt cliffs disappeared. By sunset, nothing remained. Only open sea stretched across the horizon. Months later, Elias returned home. Scholars eagerly awaited his findings. Publishers offered fortunes for exclusive access to his discoveries. Instead, he locked most of his records away. He released only fragments, carefully edited observations lacking coordinates or definitive proof. Critics dismissed them as imaginative speculation. Historians debated their authenticity. The world remained unconvinced. Elias accepted their skepticism. Some truths, he realized, require protection. Years afterward, he sat alone within his study, composing the final entry in his journal. Rain tapped gently against the windows while maps covered every available surface. His hand moved slowly across the page. I found the continent that should not exist. I walked its shores and witnessed wonders beyond imagination. Yet existence is not defined solely by visibility. Some places remain real precisely because they are unseen. Perhaps every map is incomplete. Perhaps every horizon conceals mysteries beyond our understanding. And perhaps the greatest responsibility of an explorer is not to reveal every secret, but to know which secrets deserve silence. He placed the pen aside. Outside, thunder rolled softly across the distant sky. A faint smile crossed his face. Somewhere beyond ordinary perception, Eritrea continued its silent voyage through the hidden corners of reality, unseen by satellites, absent from charts, forgotten by history, yet undeniably real. And somewhere, perhaps far beyond the boundaries of known oceans, shifting coastlines still dance beneath luminous stars, waiting patiently for the next dreamer brave enough to seek beyond the mist. Thank you for learning with Mumtahina's English Academy today. I hope this lesson helped improve your English skills and confidence. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe for more engaging English content. Keep practicing every day, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next lesson.